I'm going to give you my top 10 reasons why you need to get into property right now. Observe the masses and do the opposite. I've been investing in property now for years and I know the property market inside out. I've got a national house buying company and I have successfully bought and sold hundreds of properties from all over the country of all different types. And in this video, I'm going to reveal why now is the best time to get into property. But before I reveal all, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So why is now the best time ever to get into property? Number one, a mass exodus. There is a mass exodus in the market of landlords. So observe the masses and do the opposite. People are nervous right now. The amateur property investors are exiting the market in their tens of thousands. For the professional property investors, they're investing right now. Do you know why? Because they spot the opportunity. And I should know, I work with over 3,500 investors on a daily basis. My business revolves around selling incredible property deals to investors, and I monitor their buying behaviors. So, if you're listening to what is out there in the media right now, then you're making a huge mistake, because there has never been a better time to get into property. There are so many motivated sellers out there. If you look back to 2008 when we had the property crash, I look at the prices people paid for properties and I wish I'd started sooner. People are selling cheap because people can't afford to pay the mortgages. People are worried about the arse dropping out of property tomorrow. People are reducing risk by downscaling. Now is the time. You don't have to buy property to make money in property. Being in property does not necessarily mean just buying property. There are so many different ways that you can make money in property. You can package deals. You can control other people's properties, run your portfolio as serviced accommodation, create houses of multiple occupation. The average salary right now is about £2,000 net in your bank account each month. Now I suspect with your mortgage costs and the cost of living, it's just not enough. If you're not in property right now, property is a fantastic vehicle to use to make money. You can even do it as a side hustle while still in a full-time job. I've got delegates that train with me that have six-figure deal packaging businesses as a side hustle, single parents with full-time jobs making 6 figures a year. So the question you have to ask yourself is, can you afford to stay sat where you are right now? Forget about getting rid of all the luxuries and cutting back. You need to increase what's coming in. You need to find a way of making that 10, 15, 20 grand a month. And deal packaging is the strategy that you can implement to make that 10, 15, 20 grand a month. And you can do it really, really quickly. That's the solution. So property, they say, is as safe as houses. They don't say it's as safe as crypto, do they? Sorry for all you crypto fans out there, but property is the most appreciating asset on the planet. Since records began, property prices have increased. They say property doubles every 10 years. Now don't get me wrong, we've had a number of dips and I'm certain that we'll have more, but the point is they always recover and continue to appreciate in value. The richest people in the world are investing in property, so don't wait to buy property and wait. There is a massive opportunity right now to 10x with permitted development rights. Recent changes have made this a game changer. The government are currently making it easier to invest in property. Recently, they changed permitted development rules, so there's a lot of properties out there right now that you can do a lot with. The most exciting ones that you can take commercial properties and convert them into residential. For example, taking an office block and converting it into flats. This is something you can do without getting planning permission. Yes. This is a monumental opportunity. Imagine being able to build an entire portfolio in just one deal. Forget about buying one house here and one house there. Buy an office block, change the use, convert it into residential apartments and 10 times your property portfolio in just one deal. There's a massive shortage of houses right now and the government is making it easier for developers to develop homes. Follow the success and the success will follow. I find it hilarious that in the press right now, people are being scared out of getting into property. But guess what the banks are doing? They're buying it aggressively as well. So follow the success and the success will follow. If you sit there and you think I'm crazy, maybe what you should do is consider that I know a little bit something about this. I live and breathe it every day and I'm doing all right. Maybe you should ask yourself, is the media deluding the average person right now? What you need is to get educated. Double dip. So you get paid once when you buy the house, if you buy at the right price, below market value. And then you will have instant equity in the deal as soon as you buy it. So let's say you buy a house worth £100,000 and you buy it for a discount, say for £75,000. That's a 25% discount. You've got £25,000 of equity. And then you get paid the rent. But you need to make sure the rent is at the right price, so you need to know the sweet spot for your area. Now don't forget, the rent has got to cover the mortgage payments and give you some profit at the same time. Maybe put the property on Airbnb and run it as serviced accommodation and make much more cash flow than you would renting it out to a single family. Or maybe rent the property out by the room for houses of multiple occupation. For example, you take 4 or 5 bed house and you put 4 to 5 people living in that house, all paying rent on their own individual rooms. Again, cash flowing higher than you would renting it out to a single family. And finally, you're going to get paid when the house appreciates in value. And yes, they will appreciate in value. Create passive income. The single best vehicle for passive income is property. For those who don't believe in passive income, then you've either not invested in property or you don't know how to do it properly. Most people work for money. They trade their time for money. When you own your own property and rent it out, the money just keeps coming in, even when you sleep. Tax breaks. If you don't know how to do it properly, property is a tax haven. You need to know how to do it properly. There are so many ways you can write taxes off through property. What do the rich people do? They don't pay taxes. What they do is they will set up a company, they push up the value of that company rather than taking income from the company, they then borrow money against the company. Property is the most leveraged asset on the planet. What other asset can you leverage at 75% loan to value? Now, like I say, I'm not a tax advisor or a financial advisor, and I'm not qualified to give financial advice. So my advice to you is to seek your own advice and to make sure that you do your own due diligence. There are so many strategies in property, so many different strategies you can do. Deal packaging, serviced accommodation, rent to rent, HMO, commercial conversions, buy to let. So depending on what you enjoy, there is a strategy to suit you. Now, if you're starting from scratch with no money and you don't know a single thing about property, then do deal packaging. I make high 6 figures a year from deal packaging. I use this strategy to get into property, but I've never looked back. Community. I've been in property for coming up for 7 years now, and I have to say, I've never ever known a community of professionals quite like property investors. It's an amazing community. It's about supporting each other. It's about practicing together. It's about surrounding yourself with the right people. Now, I have my own property community. I run property events. I have a Facebook community. I have a mastermind. It's so supportive, uplifting and positive. So if you want to be a part of my property community, if you want to come and meet me in person, then why not register for my next free face-to-face deal packaging discovery day and come and meet me. Information on my next event is on my website. The link is in the description below. So we've come to the end of the video. You've now hopefully realised some of the benefits of being a professional property investor from someone who lives and breathes it day in, day out. And I welcome any comments you may have. I do read them all, so please connect with me. And make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. I've been Katie Wilson, and I hope to meet you very soon in person.